Hello, we're looking at problem number 3 on page 204. It says, this is lesson check, and it says your test scores in science are 83 and 87. What possible scores can you earn on your next test to have a test average between 85 and 90 inclusive? So first of all, what does it mean to be inclusive? Inclusive means that those numbers are actually included in our value, so they're equal to. And we know that the average is between 85 and 90. So let me pull up my whiteboard. I have the 83 and 87. And I want my average to be between 85 and 90. And I want to know which test scores I can get. So I'm going to solve for two different ones. I'm going to write it here in red. 85 and 90. That's what I want it to be between. When we're talking about inclusive, so really I can write 85, and 90, right? That's a notation that I can have. That's the average. We want to know what value on our test score though we want. Or another way of thinking about it, if I have an inequality, I know if my average is, let's say X, so let's say X, test average. Then I want my test score to be greater than or equal to 85 or less than or equal to 90. So those are inclusive. That equal sign or the bracket, meaning that they are included. So now let's take a look at, okay, so we have 83 and 87. We are going to solve for the missing value. So I know that I have 83 plus 87. This is how we find average. And I'm going to say plus y. So we'll say that y is my lower end and z is my upper. Okay. And I know that that's divided by 3, and I want it to be, we can say equal to 85, because we know that that's actually our included value. We know that we're going to actually put in an inequality. So we can solve this equation. I'm going to pull up my calculator. So first I'm going to add 83 plus 87, and I get 170. And I'm going to run out of space. 170 plus y divided by 3 equals 85. And then I'm going to multiply that by 3. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 3. So I get 85 times 3. It's 255. So I'm multiply by 3 here, multiply by 3 here. So my 3's cancel out. I'm going to put 170 plus y equals 255. Subtract 170 from both sides. And I get y is equal to 85. Wow. Okay, so the lower end is 85. The lower test average has to be 85. Let's check that out to see. We can check ourselves. Maybe in this case made a mistake. I want the average to be 85. Let's see. 83 plus 87 plus 85 divided by 3 is in fact 85. Okay. Let me pause the video for just a second so I can erase some of my whiteboard. Okay, so now we're looking for Z, the upper. We found the lower to be 85. So we're looking for just that one test. What does that one test have to be in order for my test average to be between an 85 and a 90? So let's do the Z now, the upper hand. So we have 83 plus 87, and I'm looking for Z. And the upper end is associated with the 90. Remember, to find the average, divide by how many we have. So we add all of them up. We have 3 scores, so we divide by 3. And we get 90. And so we already know 83 plus 87 is 170. Divided by 3 equals 90. And the last one, we know that we're going to multiply both sides by 3 to get rid of this 3. 170 plus Z equals 270. Subtract 170 from both sides. And I get Z equals 100. So they have to get on 100. They want an average of 100, right? And we can test it out again like we did last time just to make sure that we did everything correct. So we have 83 plus 87 plus 100 divided by 3 is in fact 90. So just to make sure that we are answering the question, it says your test scores in science class are 83 and 87. What possible scores can you earn on your next test to have a test average between 85 and 90 inclusive? So we know that they have to score between the 85 and 100. Let me clear this out so we can see it better. So the test average, remember, was between 85 and 90. The actual score that I have to make will have to be between 85 and 100. And that's one way of writing an interval notation. If I wrote it as an inequality, it would be 85 less than or equal to, I'll have to make the variable m 100. So this one would be 85 less than or equal to x equal to 90. And m would be score on third exam. And I hope that this helps.